Did you know that it's possible to train your inner critic to be your inner coach? How often have you complained about your inner critic? Oh, my inner critic won't let me do this because I can't quite get it right. My inner critic says, oh, I need to start over again. How many times have you balled up a piece of paper and tossed it into the trash can because you just didn't think you had it right? Of course, you're being driven by perfectionism, which doesn't exist in the sense of getting something right. Perfection exists all around us. Everything around us is perfect. We're perfect just as we are. So trying for perfection, it's not even worth bothering with, because you will move in the direction of organization when you work from the Imaginative Storm point of view. So the internal critic, that little critic, mine, I call him Jimmy, living on my liver, its job is actually not so much to critique things in the negative sense. Your internal critic is there to encourage you, to say, maybe you want to try that again. I think I could play that angle a little differently. Ah, yes, I see the insight on the page there. I know where I need to go. Those are phrases your internal critic can give you if you train it to do that. Your internal critic will also say, once it's trained, that is really good. You have done a fantastic job today. Now you can stop, relax, take a breath, enjoy something for a moment, and then come back and let's work some more a little bit later. So how do you retrain your inner critic? It's actually a lot less complicated than you might think. Instead of listening to the negativity that's built into you, instead of thinking, oh, this is how I get my work done. I have to have this kind of burden in order for my work to be worthwhile. Instead of thinking that way, just sit back, relax. You can put your hand on your heart, on your chest. Take a breath and think, it's okay, just as it is right now. I appreciate the work I do, especially when it brings a smile to my face. Yeah, I've done this before. I can do it again. Now, these are little affirmations, no big deal, small affirmations. And yet, when you ask your internal critic to listen to those affirmations, your internal critic will get excited. Your internal critic will actually recognize something it was designed to recognize, which is the job has been there to do all along, which is to support you in your creative work. So it's easy to do, training your internal critic to be your internal coach. Just write some stuff, sit back, look at it, take a breath, and go, that is good. So if you declare it, your internal critic will do the same. So you take the creative leadership role in your own work and experiment with it. Go in the positive direction. And here's the little last bit for your internal critic and for you too. An organization or a human being in this case you, will go in the direction of the questions it asks and the topics it studies. So if you ask provocative, positive questions of your internal critic will take on the role of the internal champion, the internal coach, the internal advocate. If you think about things that are deep and valuable and are challenging and things that delight you, your internal critic will follow your lead. So, ask questions that will take you in the direction of the horizon that's waiting for you out there always to fill up with the things you know are important you have to say.